By December of 1862, the Civil War had entered its second year and showed no sign of abating. In an effort to break the enemy, Union General Ulysses S. Grant planned attacks not only on Confederate military forces, but on their livelihoods as well. By combating the smuggling of cotton, Grant hoped to starve the Confederate economy, helping to expedite the war's end. In pursuit of that goal, General Grant signed an order that many consider to be the greatest official act of anti-Semitism in American history. Brandeis professor and Jewish scholar Jonathan Sarna tells us the story in this week's Real History.
Ulysses S. Grant is general in charge of one of the Union armies. It is one of the more successful of the armies in late 1862. The South's most important product is cotton. That's its export. Cotton then was like oil is today. Everybody wanted it, and the South had it. From the point of view of the Union military command, if you could prevent the South from exporting cotton, you could end the war. The embargo on cotton, the siege essentially, led to a great deal of smuggling. You could sell that very same cotton in the North for a high price. There was, after all, a shortage. We now know that any number of people were smuggling. Soldiers were smuggling, civilians were smuggling, and we know that there certainly were Jews who had a long history as merchants who were also smuggling. The war hasn't been going too well in late 1862, and Grant's own fortunes are at something of a low. So he feels that smugglers are making it possible for the South to survive. Ulysses quickly finds out that his own father is engaged in smuggling. He's cooked up a deal, and lo and behold, who has he cooked up that deal with? Jews. General Grant issues General Orders number 11, which essentially says that all Jews under his jurisdiction were given 24 hours to leave. General Orders number 11 is the single most anti-Semitic official order ever issued by the U.S. government. The order reaches Paducah, Kentucky, where there are about 30 Jewish families. Those families included some staunch supporters of the Union, but it didn't matter. One of those people who is ordered to leave, his name is Caesar Caskell. Caesar Caskell decides that he is going to go right down to Washington and fight the order in front of the President of the United States. He's wise enough to see a congressman who had close ties to the White House. Very quickly, Caesar Caskell, with the congressman in tow, are ushered in to see Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln instantly orders the commander-in-chief, Henry Halleck, to overturn General Orders number 11. Ulysses S. Grant moves on Vicksburg, scores a hugely important victory that is, in fact, the turning point in the Civil War. Nothing more is heard of General Orders Number 11 until 1868, when Ulysses S. Grant decides to run for president. And this poses an unprecedented problem for the 150,000 or so Jews then living in the United States. Grant is elected president, and at that point apologizes for General Orders Number 11. Really an unprecedented atonement. He's the first president to appoint a Jewish advisor, Simon Wolf, who was an attorney and who had backed him for president. Later in his presidency, Grant becomes the very first president who goes to the opening of a synagogue. He was expanding the definition of we the people. Indeed, when Grant dies, he is widely mourned in America's synagogues, and a rabbi is among those who accompanies Grant's body to Grant's tomb. This is a story that tells us about the fallibility of our presidents, but also how they can become better people than they were before.